Red is actually going away from the radar, green coming back toward the radar. And so when we have that counterclockwise swirl and we get the greens and the reds a little closer together like this, this is where the potential for some rotation is sitting. Right now, I need you to do something for me if you live in the tornado-warned area. I need you to stop what you're doing, get into a shelter, safe place, interior room, away from the windows. South side of Ocoee, there's the 429. Rotation moving out. Winter Garden Village is actually right under this storm at this time. This is north of the Margaritaville area. If you're familiar with 429 and you drive by that brand new Margaritaville area, this is actually just north of the Independence Parkway area, the new Publix grocery store that we have out there, the Walmart. It is impacting Winter Garden Village. We are looking at a storm now that has jumped up into the atmosphere enough to really get a good, strong rush of wind up into the storm, and it's coming down. And it's in the middle, cold enough to produce hail that could be coming down and could be upwards of 2 inches diameter with winds over 60 miles per hour. So here's the 417. David just drew this one out. The 417, we are out not too far from the Oviedo Mall. Is Goldenrod there. If we're getting this to the ground, it's out near West Oaks Mall and the Ocoee Library at this time, and actually jumping. So anywhere in Ocoee, over the City Hall to the library to West Oaks Mall, seeing hail at this time. More than likely, you're seeing hail. We have been dealing with some severe thunderstorms today. Some of you picking up a little bit of damage as well. You might have heard Greg Pallone's story on the 3 planes flipped over at the Suncoast Regional Airport in Titusville, and he mentioned the potential it was a microburst. So what is a microburst? Well, you get your thunderstorms going and rolling along in a column of sinking air caused by an intense downdraft in a storm. It causes that wind to rush toward the ground very quickly, and it fans out. The extent of the wind is usually less than 2.5 miles wide, but we're talking winds rushing to the ground and fanning out at speeds of over 60 miles per hour, and that could be what actually caused the planes over at the Titusville Airport to actually flip. Of something called a shelf cloud. Another shot from Carol, who snapped this over toward the coast as well. So what exactly is a shelf cloud? Well, a shelf cloud is warm, moist air being lifted into the updraft of a thunderstorm by cooler air in the downdraft of that same storm. So the cooler air is rushing down, it's sinking and pushing along, and as it interacts with boundaries, we're starting to lift up that warm, moist air, and we are condensing and cooling that, creating what looks like a shelf rolling along the horizon. And I want to take you back to a little earlier this afternoon. I had a little weather geek moment as I looked outside, saw this wave of clouds. These are called Kelvin-Helmholtz clouds. Now, Lord Kelvin and Hermann von Helmholtz actually studied the physics of the instability that actually leads to this type of cloud formation. You've got less dense air above, more dense air below, and the different densities in the atmosphere actually creating this wave effect in the atmosphere. We've got a pretty good wind coming out of the north, and you combine that with temperatures in the 50s, and for Florida standards, it's downright cold.
Chief Meteorologist Bryan Karrick is braving it out, joining us from downtown Orlando, where you definitely need some warm clothing out there.
You do, Tammy. The wind isn't helping any at all. As temperatures have slipped into the 50s, it feels probably a good 10 degrees colder. And as I see Amway in the distance here, folks walking in for the concert tonight, going to need a jacket. How about a little weather perfection today? Yes, sunshine with us, temperatures into the 70s, and our pattern isn't going to shake anytime soon. We'll get into your 7-day forecast and find out when we can expect a couple of rain showers coming up. First, let's look back over the past week. Wow, what a roller coaster. If you're like me, the motion, the up and down in our temperature department making you shake your head and think, wow, I just want some steady temperatures. That average high is 73. And last week on Monday and Wednesday, we were far from it. Very cold air with 50s. Of course, over the weekend, we rebounded close to 80 on Saturday, 70 yesterday, and with a beautiful blue sky today, temperatures back into the 70s and even a few low 80s tucked in. Another shot from downtown Orlando, looking back at that clear blue sky, the foliage, love loving the sunshine, and our state's living up to its name, the Sunshine State. We're going to keep that going in our extended forecast, at least through the end of the week. Of course, if you have pictures that you've been maybe taking as you've been outside enjoying some of the sunshine, the warm air, we'd love to see them. It's mynews13.com/app center. Get yourself the Spectrum News 13 app today and upload those photos. All right, so here's what we're talking about. Above average temperatures. Looks like we're going to keep this going for the next 7 days. A sunny stretch through Friday mentioned, and potential for some weekend rain. A pattern trying to change just a bit, but it looks like it's going to hold firm. At least this big ridge of high pressure will hold firm over the next several days. So we're talking above average temperatures over the south central U.S., spreading all the way up the mid-Atlantic into the north and east. High pressure at control again tomorrow, and we will send temperatures 30 degrees above average for places like Cleveland, Louisville, and back out through the D.C. area. And meanwhile, a big dip in the jet stream over the western U.S. The jet, by the way, is our river of wind aloft, helping to carry storm systems, and it's going to carry some cold air across the Intermountain West and the high plains, and a storm system that will dump another round of snow over the upper Midwest. Locally, high pressure means we are expecting another wonderful day weather-wise, and on Thursday, much the same. Temperatures close to 80, some sunshine, and the above-average air soaring all the way up to the New England states once again. Looks like it's going to be a struggle to get above zero across the Dakotas and Montana. So as we bring it closer to home, high pressure control, that's sinking air helping to keep us cloud-free today. Now tonight, what we're going to be looking at is a mainly clear sky. That clear and starry sky, and a lighter wind could allow some patchy areas of fog to develop for the morning commute. We burn that off quickly. Of course, if there is some visibility issues, Maureen McCann will be in tomorrow morning to take you through the visibility, and we'll be talking about afternoon sunshine helping to warm us back up. Overnight, patchy fog late, temperatures well into the 50s. As we take a look at your extended forecast, how about 80 degrees and kind of a cut and paste forecast through Friday. Saturday, this is when we have a weak front dropping in and stalling out. Rain chances only 20% at this point. Breezy conditions both days as we're tucked in between that high in the front and mid-70s. All right, that is a shakedown of your 7-day forecast. Now here's a live look at Storm Tracker 13 Doppler radar. You know, we obviously go into storms thinking our motto, don't be scared, just be prepared.
And that is very important.
It is. It's extremely important because it puts you in that mindset that you're going to be okay. Things are going to be fine. They're going to get very scary at times.
Yes.
But when we walk you through the storm, we're taking that calm approach because these storms can do some pretty serious damage. Wondering what those rays are? They're called crepuscular rays, clouds that are actually partially blocking the sunlight and long shadows that are being cast on other air particles and the haze out there, providing us, looks like a really neat sight with some of those rays, the sun rays that are sneaking on by. A cold night in store, but if you think that's cold, check it out. It's here in Orlando going 45. International Falls, Minnesota, an overnight low of 40, below zero, and a wind chill index in the 60s below. Yeah, and this one's going to be the strongest in recorded history to hit the Panhandle. We've had 9 major hurricanes actually hit the Panhandle since records have been kept here in the state since 1851.
Wow.
And obviously this one will go down in the record books. You see here just to the southwest here of DuPont that we are still estimating some strong potential for wind, maybe over 58 miles per hour. Just about 10 minutes ago, this was looking at potentially upwards of 70 miles per hour. Check out this California shot here from San Francisco. This is not fog. This is thick smoke. And we have air quality issues thanks to those nasty fires that are burning. As a matter of fact, as we get back to the maps, we've got air quality issues for a big chunk of California. High wind warnings in effect, all thanks to the Santa Ana. So what is the Santa Ana wind? High pressure stretched across the western U.S., cranking around in a clockwise fashion. Those winds cranking up 50, 60 mile per hour winds with gusts that are even higher. The winds come down, they compress as they come out of the mountains, heat things up, dry them out, and a moderate to high threat from fires continues, unfortunately, to take us right through the end of the week.